The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Friday morning. It is a TIP VIP Friday. I got my dude Bistrillo hanging out with me. We got Augustine Pimentel hanging out with us as well. Thank you guys so much for joining in on today's show. Remember, we are live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on YouTube, all over the place. We're too many places at one time is where this show is. Arguably way too many places given how bad this show can be from time to time. But nonetheless, we are doing it. We are live. Shout out to Posh and Pex who tuned in over on Instagram. Guys, yesterday was a sad day for your boy, and I felt extremely selfish about it, right? Because I said as soon as the show was done, I get an alert. The immortal Hulk Hogan has passed away. And I thought to myself, that could have given me content. I could have got 15 minutes out of that. And instead, I had to just flounder my way towards the end of the show like I did yesterday, talking about Mortal Kombat and masturbation.
Eminem.
Everyone's favorite. But anyway, like Hulk Hogan passing away, I feel like everybody has a wrestling story, right? Like everyone at one point in time loved wrestling. And for me, Hulk Hogan was the guy, right? Like I fell in love with wrestling with Hollywood Hulk Hogan because that's whenever I got introduced to it. Augustine, you were talking about watching him versus the Ultimate Warrior at like WrestleMania 3. What's your thoughts on the passing of Hulk Hogan?
No, it's a sad day, not just for professional wrestling. It's a sad day for someone who made a mark on everybody's lives because the larger than life character that Hulk Hogan was, he went over boundary lines from sports. He was in movies. He's the one who beat the living heck out of Rocky Balboa. I mean, this is how big this guy was. In movies, he was just the man that helped Vince McMahon raise an empire that is still alive to this day. That's what Hulk Hogan was. And the greatest line that I've read today is something that's Terry Bollea, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name because I always knew him as Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Bollea might be gone, but Hulkamania lives forever. And that just speaks volumes about what he represented.
And that's one of the things too, right? Like you see the crossover between wrestlers and movies. That kind of happened with Hulk Hogan being Thunder Lips in the Rocky movies and stuff like that. What about you? What about you, B? What are your thoughts on the Hulkster passing away?
Well, I was never ever really a big wrestling fan, but during these times when Hulk Hogan was an icon in the sport, I was watching a lot. I had even had favorite wrestlers at that time: Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant. I try to stay away. He is such a star. You try to steer away from when you're watching wrestling. You try to find another wrestling hero because everybody loves Hulk Hogan. And it's like I want to try to get away from that. I want to try to be a different guy. But yeah, I mean, once he got out of that though, and I grew up a little bit, I stopped watching wrestling altogether. But you still saw his name in the lights a lot of time. So I mean, Hulkamania is not going nowhere. It's going to be ingrained in our cultural history.
And I think that's the crazy part about it, right? Is like you look at what wrestling, sports entertainment, what it became. It's all because of like guys like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. I really say like those two guys. But when you look at the aspect of you had this larger than life superhero type guy, that's who Hulk Hogan was, right? Like even and Augustine, you mentioned it before the show like started, the amount of times wrestling tried to move away from Hulk Hogan, bringing in guys like the Ultimate Warrior, sending him off unceremoniously to WCW because you're too old to be one of our guys. And then he has that career resurgence in WCW, comes back in, I want to say 2002, and has that WrestleMania moment with The Rock, and it's supposed to be The Rock's moment of I'm the guy now, I'm passing of the torch, and the entire crowd was just on Hulk Hogan's side, wanting all the Hulk Hogan stuff, wanting the old Hulk Hogan, like he was still Hollywood Hulk Hogan at that time. Brings back Hulk Hogan and gets to run another 10 years out of that. The stuff that man put his body through in order to just make the fans happy. That's what I love about wrestling is whenever you're going to lose, whenever you got to do whatever spot it is. Imagine going through the 1980s and knowing you're about to get a chair to the top of your dome. Like, you got to take that chair to your dome, right? We can talk about wrestling being fake all we want, but them shits is real sometimes, man. And for me, if you're a dude doing it like Hulk Hogan did at the top, at the highest level possible, man, like you guys said, he might be gone, but Hulkamania is going to last on forever. Our guy Ray over at Locally Sourced El Paso saying, as crazy as his life got, he left a wrestling legacy.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the outcome might be scripted and everything, but you take one of those big palms from under the giant to your chest, and that's going to hurt. You know, and more than that, and I think, and then we were, and B, I'm really happy you said with all the superstars that were around when Hulk Hogan was that. I mean, you think about it. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase, and the list goes on and on. The Hart Foundation, um, and it goes on, and the names of that time frame were so huge, but it was all thanks, in part, by the Hulkster, by Andre the Giant. So the two pillars of wrestling, and now the final pillar is still there, which is Ric Flair. That just gave so much base to wrestling and so much. And Tipton, you said it, and the base was this larger than life character that could actually be confused with a superhero. And that, I think, was what really set off wrestling in the 80s. And you got to remember, we had, what was it called? Saturday Night Fight? No,
Saturday night main
Saturday
event.
Saturday Night Main Event, which even I canceled stuff to go watch and see. Me, a non-wrestling fan, and now you see the truth of my wrestling, that it's my guilty pleasure to watch wrestling. And I just got to say, it's a sad day, not just for wrestling, but for sports in general, because
Oh
an
yeah.
icon passed away.
Oh yeah, and you see the crossover all the time, man. Like especially in sports, like you'll see dudes flexing on the sidelines. They'll do the Hulk Hogan, hand to the ears, let me hear you cheer type thing. So like Hulk Hogan was, it wasn't just a wrestler. It was entertainment. It was sports. It was doing all that stuff. Like it's a sad day, but I can say this: how crazy is it that with the lifestyle Ric Flair has led, that he's the legend that's lived the longest? Like that man should be dead and should have died a million. He survived an effing plane crash, man. Like how is this man still around? He's the immortal one. Whenever we really think about this,
Yeah,
that's all I get.
I mean, with Hulk Hogan too. I mean, he was a great man as far as branding wrestling and branding himself. He had a few bumps in his road, though. Let's not forget. He was well, I mean, I guess some people can't say that this was a detriment to his character. Was the Magma movement? He really was a Trump supporter, big time Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the time when he used racially slurred stuff about black folks. Now, that wasn't cool.
No.
But at the same time, I mean, he apologized for it. I mean, you can only apologize so much for doing stuff like that, because once you said it, it's out there. But I mean, he did make a comeback about it. I mean, there's people that still loved him and accepted his apology and moved on from that. So, I mean, the guy is gonna, like I said, Hulkamania is gonna live through cultural ages, man. It's just gonna be around for a long time. When I'm 95 and I'm talking to my kids, I'm gonna say, yeah, I remember Hulkamania. Like Hulkamania, yeah, look it up on some kind of whatever social media it'll be on by that time.
So in like 5 years is what you're saying,
Right? Thanks.
But yeah, like I think that's the thing, right? Is like, and I guess it brings up a larger question, like when do you separate the art from the artist, right? Because Terry Bollea, the individual, was a deeply flawed person, right? Like you look at the stuff with the Bubba the Love Sponge stuff, like you said, the racial slur stuff that he was doing, the MAGA movement, all the things that he's done in like recent time. And I was telling Augustine, the saddest part about this to me is the fact that in his very last appearance in the WWE, he's trying to sell his Real American beer, and he is getting booed out of the arena. Like, obviously, this is shortly after speaking at the Republican National Convention. There's a lot of stuff that, like, surrounds this thing. But he was getting booed. You never saw Hulk Hogan getting booed. And, I mean, it was deafening. They wanted to give him, like, 5 minutes. They gave him 35 seconds because of how bad the booing was. They had him wrap it up. And it was just an awkward, just buy my beer, brother. And you see Hulk Hogan, like, slink away in a look that you don't ever see from Hulk Hogan. But it's because of how flawed Terry Bollea, the person, was. When do you separate the art from the artist?
And that's true for everybody. I mean, like R. Kelly is one of those guys. He's a great musician, but then the R. Kelly on the the civilian side is a pervert. It's those are kind of things that people have to mesh out themselves. That's a personal issue that you have to take on with yourself if you're thinking about having one of these people immortalized into your soul to take in their greatness and stuff like that. You also got to accept that they have bad sides too. They're humans. It's like anybody out there that's an icon. They're humans. So take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I'm human, people. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Yeah, especially Augustine. Don't shit
you
on
got
Augustine.
your flaws, Augustine.
Tommy
No,
Carranza saying,
but
I was going to say, Tommy
Hulk
Carranza
Hogan
saying
is the
that Hulk
legend.
Hogan is the legend of all legends in wrestling. The wrestling world lost the greatest of all time. Our guy Richie saying, good morning, Kings. Good morning to you, Richie. Saying, I still can't believe it. And then saying that the booing happened in L.A., which is liberal landia to boot. And then Tommy saying he had his problems talking about Hulk Hogan, but strictly speaking about his career, in my opinion, he is the greatest of all
The
time.
GOAT.
I think separating wrestlers, their persona from the person, is very easy to do, and I think that's why Hulkamania will live forever. Because at the end of the day, what got me into wrestling when I was younger, it's those those stories that when back in the day WWF would go into a city and people would say, where are the wrestlers? I mean, they're coming in. They would visit children's hospitals, guys. I mean, with no cameras, they would go and give a free show to the kids, to all these kids, to the grown-ups. They would sign autographs. They would do this, and all they would say is, they would say, thanks to our fans, we're having the lifestyle we have. And more than any other professional, I think wrestlers, I mean, know that, because they sense that love day in and day out from the fans. And I think you can separate really really well the persona from the actual person, and that's what I think is going to be an advantage toward Hulkamania. They're going to look at all these YouTube videos out there with Mean Gene Okerlund and with Coco Beware and all this and that. And yes, Tip, I know all these. Tipton is going to see. Tipton also has a show with his buddies, with his drinking buddies. And the first thing he's going to say, he's going to come out and say, listen, guys, I know something that you're going to love. Augustine is actually a wrestling fan from back in the day.
And that's the thing, is like Augustine would like comment on that show. Bob, Jim, and Pat get drunk on the internet. Augustine would comment on that show that we're like licking windows because we like wrestling. Like I'm like, come on, guy. And then like Pat Augustine, I'm gonna say what Pat's nickname for you is, which is that piece of shit Augustine. And as soon as I say that you like wrestling, he is going to eviscerate you, my guy. Like you have opened up Pandora's box. We've got you cooked from now on.
Oh yeah, and I get that, but the thing is that wrestling is one of those things that even Bistrilla, that didn't completely like wrestling, he knows who these people are because they're so embedded into the American way of life, American society. And what Hulk Hogan always said, do good, drink your juice or do your vitamins or whatever he said. I'm butchering it like crazy, but that's what you expect from your leaders. That's what you expect. You even had Ted DiBiase being the $1 million man. He was this person. Speaking of personas, he was this guy that he was a great guy. Everybody says he's a great guy, but his persona was, it was not mean. It was just money, and that was his persona. For example, I forget Earthquake. You're still laughing at me. I know that face, Tipton. You're thinking, how does Augustine know all these wrestlers? Well, Earthquake, there's stories out there that he was the baddest heel ever, but he was the nicest guy ever. He was one of the first guys that go into children's hospitals and to old people's homes, where they were, and do a free show for them. Why can't other stars be just like that and appreciate where their money comes from?
I think that's what I appreciate the most out of wrestling, is like they still keep that going, right? Like you look at John Cena, and he's done like what is it, over 1,000 Make-A-Wish things to like make those kids feel special, even for a small moment of time, right? Like they're giving their time, they're doing this and that. I don't say that other sports don't do it. I won't say that, because you have seen NFL teams going into children's hospitals and doing stuff like that. But I want to say that it more than likely originated with wrestling, right? Like, because that was the thing. Like, I tell people this all the time, especially whenever I was a teacher and we were teaching marketing and stuff like that. The reason why the WWE became what the WWE became is because Vince McMahon said, we're not gonna offer wrestling to the parents. We're gonna sell the tickets to the kids. The kids are gonna annoy the parents so much that they're gonna buy the tickets, and the parents are gonna become fans as like supporting their kids. And that's exactly what happened with wrestling, right? Like, you've got, again, generations of wrestling fans based off of Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon changing what the game of wrestling is. Richie saying that his absolute unbiased Mount Rushmore would be Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena. To me, that's so, like, where do you got Ric Flair has to be on Mount Rushmore, man. That's Ric Flair. I get Cena, I get Austin, I get The Rock, but you got to find a place for Ric Flair. I just imagine that's Richie being a young guy, because if I'm not mistaken, Richie's like 24 years old.
And you got to say the following: President John Cena with his last movie.
I got to start watching.
President.
Yeah, yep.
What movie was that? Because I got to watch that now.
Oh, damn. It's got Idris Elba in it too. Idris Elba.
Exactly.
What is he?
The British Prime Minister.
He's the Prime Minister. Yeah, of Britain. Yeah.
I am like to change the subject a little bit. Like, obviously, the world lost a great person. I guess not person, but personality yesterday in Hulk Hogan. Like we said, everyone's hero is deeply flawed. You live like in Batman, right? You either die young and be the hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. That's exactly what's kind of happened with the Hulk Hogan thing. But I'm glad that all of us have been able to kind of separate the art from the artist to acknowledge what his impact on not just wrestling, but like the world really was. And like, without Hulk Hogan doing what he does, Cena doesn't get the acting career. The Rock doesn't get the acting career. Like, it's Hulk Hogan really breaking those barriers to kind of allow that stuff. But guys, I've been, and like I'm not one of these people that watches a whole bunch of movies, as Augustine can tell you. Like, I don't watch a whole ton of movies. I have been counting down the days, and today is the day for Happy Gilmore 2. Now, I have zero expectations of this movie. I know it's going to suck, and I'm going to love every single damn second of how bad that movie sucks. Strilla, I saw you give a little bit of love to it. You've been looking forward to this movie as well.
Yep, sure I have. And the first one was awesome, and they're bringing a few characters back from the first one. I thought it was funny that Eminem is going to be the the annoying guy. That was hilarious. But we'll see how that works out in the movie. But yeah, I love the first one, man. Adam Sandler has some pretty good movies. I like most of them. A lot of people don't like Adam Sandler like that, but I think he's pretty funny in a lot of the movies he's in. There's a couple of movies I don't like particularly, but
I think the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, and this will tell you like the type of movies that I watched as a young adult. I feel like Eminem is going to do exactly what he did like in The Wash. If you've ever seen The Wash with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, it's going to be that type of character, and I am looking forward to that. Like, I want to see that. And also, one of my favorite basketball players, Boban Marjanovic, is going to be in this movie as well. And I can't wait to see. They have him as like Mr. Larson 2.0. I want to see him got a nail in his head and all this stuff too. Like, I am so excited about this. And who would have thought Boban Marjanovic would have had the acting career that he's had? He's been in John Wick movies. This is like his third Adam Sandler movie. Like, Boban out here cutting himself a really good career. Sorry, Augustine, I cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say to be Strilla that I love Adam Sandler movies too, but he plays the same character in every movie.
Yeah, he gets it's crazy stuff in there. Yeah,
and the thing is, one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies is 50 First Dates, because that is just the basis of that movie is like every guy's dream come true, that a woman just forgets everything that happened yesterday, and so I mean, you get to start from scratch every single day, which is a dream come true. But
young ladies out there, take note.
Yeah,
Just forget that last yesterday and just start all over again. That's what you do. With
like Ted Lasso, have a memory of a goldfish.
That's right.
And you'll get 50 first dates out of it. Everyone loves the first date. The first date's always the best.
Yeah.
Augustine hates any.
Well, I mean, yeah and no. It depends. It depends on how the relationship flourishes. If you remember the first date, but if it doesn't flourish, it's like, fuck that shit. We hate the first date.
What is the ideal first date, Augustine? And don't say sex at the end. We already know that's what you want.
Long walks on the beach. Don't do that.
Oh, I could imagine that. Long walks in the desert here in El Paso.
Long walks in white sands where the atom bomb was first tested.
Yeah, the nuclear bomb test sites. That's where we're going.
Yeah, that's perfect date. But
what?
No, just
Whataburger.
Hey, Whataburger's good, man.
I was about to say, every Friday, I know that you're going to have Whataburger with you every Friday. Like, it's one of the things I love about you.
You're consistent.
It's consistent. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm a consistent butt wipe, you know. So
I've got a bourbon in my coffee every day, and no one ever says anything about that.
Well, that's because a lot of people don't know until you let them know that. Nobody knows it's in the cup, you know.
Yeah, they don't see me pouring the flask in.
Right, they don't physically see you doing that.
And I've got the Cuervo tequila with me all the time too. So that's the only way I can do the show, guys. I can't do this shit sober. Could you imagine?
And I'm sober, but I'm filled on sugar.
Yeah, sugar works too, I guess.
Yeah.
For some people.
No, but the perfect first date would be, meeting up and just talking at a Starbucks. That would be the perfect first date. Just getting to know each other, getting to know the feelings, getting to know what she wants, what she likes. That would be the perfect first date.
Well, Tommy obviously the first date you could have with Tommy is Whataburger, obviously, because he found another connection. There you go. See, it's about making connections.
Me and Tommy are brothers, man. That's what you people don't know. He's my inner cholo. That's the thing that people don't understand.
Inner cholo. There you go. He said that would be your last date.
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a pretty terrible date, Augustine. Like Augustine's dates now happen at 9:00 in the morning. Like that's we're gonna meet
at Whataburger.
I couldn't imagine the fact that you would go to Starbucks like late at night. Like I picture a date at night, man. I wasn't picturing a brunch date or anything like that. Now you could have been like at least mimosas or something like that. You're like, let's meet up at Starbucks and just talk as I gaze lovingly into your eyes. Like that's all I heard right there. I would say like the perfect first date has to be like you go out. You go to a nice you'd never go to a movie on the first date. If you go to a first date and it's a movie, you're a horrible individual. You're never going to have time to talk. I do agree with you, Augustine. You got to be able to talk a little bit, find out some stuff about each other. Dinner's a great place to go because you can see if they eat like a slob like I do, or if they actually have manners and stuff like that. But I tell you one thing, the best way to end the date is with just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
I'm going to hell for that transition.
That's a
And I'm the bad one.
ever.
And I'm the bad one, B. And
Ever.
and I'm the bad one. Yeah. And I'm the bad one. Yeah.
That was great. Just a Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Whether it's the first date or whether it's the last date, make sure you're taking care of yourself from your pits to your tip. We got the whole body deodorant, the comfort cream, the anti-chafe stick. You are taking care of the bulber. You don't want to have the biggest bush like the Zohan. You want to make sure you're looking the best that you possibly can. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. Once again, that was arguably the worst transition, but god damn, it was a home run.
That's right. That's an in the park home run. Ball just got outside of the outfielder's grasp there, and then he just ran around.
There ain't no way I got the wheels for an inside the park home run. This one bounced off the top of the wall. That's what happened here.
Like a basketball on top of the wall.
That's exactly what happened. I maybe in my younger days I could have ran, but I've had 3 knee surgeries, 2 ankle surgeries. I can't run anymore. Come on now, man. I am getting up there in age. But I wanted to get your guys' opinions on this. The President of the United States yesterday has directed
Sorry.
30 days aimed at preserving college sports opportunities and preventing college athletes from becoming professionals. According to an executive order that he signed on Thursday, we all know that we gotta find a way to rein in NIL. But it feels like Congress came up with, we got to have this $20 million, I guess, payroll in college football. Like, that's got to be the salary cap, right? In college sports, is $20 million. But if you're going to sit there and say, okay, we don't want them to be professionals, what the hell are we trying to do, Strilla? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know what's going on. You know what? Ever since the NIL has even been in place in here, it's just a confusing bunch of crap right now. They really, no matter what 47 does, I mean, they got it. They should have started off at the starting blocks with a plan. You just don't throw something out there and then say, okay, we're good. No, don't put it out there to satisfy the masses. Put it out there with a plan. That way, when these issues happen, it's not confusing to everybody. These kids aren't getting. See, the kids these days, everything is, it's mine. Look at me. I'm this. I'm that. They don't work for a lot of stuff. And I think this is what the NIL does a lot too. It takes away from that hard work that these players have put in there. I'm not saying they shouldn't get paid. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, they should have been getting paid for a long time in college sports because they obviously bring profit to the colleges that they play for. But at the same time, dude, work hard. And I think that's an aspect that people are not really looking at. They're just like, give the kids the money, whatever, because they deserve it. Why? They're not. If you don't work for it, you don't deserve. When you go to work, like Augustine will be, because he's still a working guy, just like I am. You go to work, man. They give you a paycheck after you put your work, your week, 2 weeks in. You know what I'm saying? They don't give you a before a check. They give you an after check. So and you strive to do better at your job so you can get more money at your job. And I think this is the problem that the college sports has, professional sports even has this problem. I want to get my money right now up front because I could get injured. I say, you know what? If that was the case, and I always compare this to firefighters and police officers, because these guys go out there every day risking their lives. Every time they get out of bed, they could be shot, burned up, whatever the case may be. They don't get the money that these NFL players are getting paid, and they could be killed. And that's a difference, or oft, or whatever you want to call it. Sorry. I'm not on a network, so I don't care anyway. Yet, at least. So yeah, and it's just. I guess I'm just a traditionalist. That's all there is to it. This is just nonsense to me.
What about you?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on this?
One of the things that ended in the United States is the amateur level. And we got to be very, forward on this and say that, college sports for a long time has been the precursor to professional sports, and it was a professional sport without being a professional sport because the amount of organization, the level of coaches in colleges is just, amazing, and a lot of people want to come to the States to be able to do that. But I think putting this kind of money at this stage of their careers is dangerous because they might say, "Oh, well, I'm just going to go to college for 1 or 2 years, and then go pro." And then, what if something happens? The what ifs are too common in today's day and age, and I think one of the things that is really being put in the background is actual school. And to have the necessary knowledge, skills, and abilities that are needed in the workplace today. Because, like you said, Tip, the 1% of the 1% of the 1% are the ones that are going to be playing on Sunday. So these kids have to be uh, maybe not taught a lesson, but it's way too much money too early. And I think that has to be a little bit more controlled because if you're the quarterback of LSU and you're making 4 million or whatever stupid quantity they're making, what motivation do you have to become pro? I mean, you're already taken care of. So
And we're kind of seeing it bleed over now into like professional sports, right? Like how long it took the second round picks to get signed to their contracts because they wanted guaranteed money and etc. Right? Like it's never worked that way in the NFL. I doubt that it's going to continue to work that way in the NFL. Like they didn't get the guarantees that they thought they were going to get, but the reason why they're asking for it is because they got so used to getting it in college, right? Whether you're a first round pick or a second round pick, you were probably getting some sort of money sent over your way. Now, granted, NIL isn't the school paying you, right? Like it's you getting paid from a third party that wants your name, image, and likeness. Like we see the commercials all the time, especially here in El Paso. They're poorly produced commercials, but they have the college athletes on them. And for me, I'm all about it. Get your money, right? Like go get a little bit of money. But you have to, at the end of the day, remember that it is a business. And if you're going to treat it like a business, this business can either love you or this business can kick you straight in the dick. And a lot of you guys are going to get kicked straight in the dick because there is no fallback plan for you, right? So if you're trying to leave college early, if you're not taking college as seriously as you should, you're not taking advantage of the scholarships and stuff like that, then it's starting to become a bit of an issue. And this is what I wanted to ask you, because as I continued reading this article, it says Trump's order sets out specific guidelines for preserving athletic scholarships based on an athletic department's annual revenue. So what that sounds like to me is unless your athletic department is making money, you're not really going to be able to offer scholarships. And that right there is a huge red flag to me as far as this executive order goes, because there's a lot of schools out there that aren't Alabama, that aren't Tennessee, that aren't LSU or the big name schools, but they're giving kids an option to, one, continue playing the sport they love, and two, get an education. So I don't like this part of that executive order. I agree that we've got to come up with some way to wrangle all this in because we let it be the wild, wild west for too long. But you can't start taking away or only allow scholarships to be given based on how much your athletic department made. Like that's wild to me. What do you think, Strilla?
Yeah, like I said, I've already outlined my disappointment with the whole situation. And again, let me be clear: I'm not against these kids getting paid. I'm not, but there's got to be a level of responsibility toward how they're doing this, and that's what's getting out of hand. You already have this generation. I'm sorry, we have to keep bringing it on there. I'm Generation X person, so this stuff that I see is like somebody did not beat you as a child. That's what it is. I come from old school. You know how that is. But Yeah, I mean, and then you're giving all this flux to the kids, and then they come into the NFL profession or any professional sports in general with that attitude, and then you understand why some people don't understand why these owners are acting the way that they're acting, because it's like, dude, who are you anyway? I mean, you just came into the NFL, and NFL is way different than the NCAA. Okay, so I don't want to hit, between college football and NFL, it's like this. So you get in the NFL, it's a whole new world. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to say is to our dear 47th and our dear NCAA and money in college sports, um, it's another end of an era when money came into college sports because there's no real amateur sports anymore.
Money's always been like let's not pretend money hasn't been in college sports. Like it's always been there. It was just under the table, not in front of us. And I think that that's kind of what it comes down to, right? Like, do you want your college deals to be out in front of you, or would you rather them be back under the table again? Because I feel like once you let it out of the box, it's like toothpaste, right? Once you squeeze it out, you can't put it back in the tube. And I feel like that's what we've done with college football. The NCAA, again, proved that they have zero power. They've got no balls in this situation at all whenever they went back with COVID. And we're like, look, conferences do whatever the conferences want to do. I feel like we are staring down the barrel right now of the end of the NCAA. We're like we're going to wind up getting some other governing body in college sports. And I think it's going to probably be just dependent upon each sport, right? Like basketball is probably going to have their own governing body. Football is going to have their own governing body because those sports are so different, right? And we're watching right now the death of other sports. Like Augustine and I were talking about it, a week or so ago, where the University of Texas at El Paso is getting rid of their tennis program. I get it, the money saving cost that you want to do here, but you're taking away education and the opportunities of education for some of these students, right? Because that's what they're here on a tennis scholarship. They want to go to school. You're not going to go pro in tennis if you're playing tennis in college because your opportunity passed you. You could have gone pro at like 14 years old in tennis, right? So you're trying to get like an educational thing. And I think what I'm seeing here is just now we're getting the lack of educational opportunities. And I feel like that's what's really got to get stopped is the lack of educational opportunities. But like Strilla said, I don't think there's a real fix for this right now. Like I can't come up with an idea that fixes college football right now because once they opened up Pandora's box, hell, everything was thrown up against the wall, and now we got to try to figure out a way to get it back in, and it's just not going to happen.
I mean, they can fix it, but it's the point, will they? Or they just let it run rampant. You know what I'm saying? And let the kids run rampant. Let the kids be owning the colleges. That's basically what it's getting down to right now. So, I mean, yeah, they got it. They can do something about it. They should have had something in place.
And Bistrilla, you're completely right. They can, they should, they don't want to. That's the key right there. And the key to all this, to actually putting control in college sports, not just football, basketball, track and field and all that, but is to give within the NCAA, give power to committees that control all these sports, and to put people that want the best for collegiate athletes and put the word that matters most right there, collegiate. And tell them, hey guys, we're sorry, but you're gonna have to actually go to class. Hey guys, sorry, you're actually gonna have to get at least a B to be able to play. Hey guys, there are certain rules you have to follow because we are Alabama, we are Miami, we are whoever. You represent a school, you represent a way of life that somebody else would absolutely kill to be in your position. You have greater responsibility. So does the NCAA to set forth roles, rules, and regulations that cover each and every single sport in a way that benefits all the stakeholders. And the stakeholders here are not the fans. The fans don't matter. What really matters is the student athlete getting the best that they can out of their college experience. That should be the main point of any kind of collegiate athletic program.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I'm listening to it right now, like, should there be a limit, right? Like we have the one and done in college basketball. Should there be a limit where you can't go to professional sports until you graduate?
Well, yeah, I think that should be for every sport, to tell you the truth.
Well,
4 years at the minimum.
Here's the thing, B. Once you're 18, you're a grown-up, and you can do whatever you want. So,
within whatever rules are statuted, yes.
Yeah. So, should professional sports say, just like any other job, we need your paper saying you graduated? What does that little paper say? That you're going to be able to do things, that you're going to be able to commit to something, that, that would be a great idea, by the way, because that would set a precedent.
The problem with this whole situation, too, is talent factor. You can have a quarterback out there that is a Lamar Jackson type person, and he fails miserably at college, but you know how college sweeps them grades under the carpet. You're the greatest athlete in their college history or whatever, and you're bringing in you're bringing the fans to the stands, and you're getting that NIL money. The NFL sees you and is like, dang, this guy is awesome. He'd be great for the NFL. If you had a grade point average thing where you said, well, you have to have this grade point to be in the NFL, that would never happen, because you're taking away money from the NFL that way. I mean, you have a extraordinary athlete over here that can be in the NFL, that can generate more revenue for whatever city and the NFL in general that he goes to. Then does grades really make a difference at that point? And this is the problem. Greed is real. It happens every day, and this is the reason why our human structure in America is messed up. Okay, because we believe money over anything else, money over education, money over health, money over anything. They don't care. This country is run by the almighty dollar. It's not run by humans. The human feelings. It's not the education system. That's why, you ever watched that Jeff Daniels what was a newsroom, I think it was, and he had that clip where he was on stage and he was talking about America and how they good there. I hate going through that whole situation because I hate bringing that up every time, because people don't understand. That is what people, America in ratings is that, and that, to the outside world, we're idiots. Straight up, because our education system is failing. We have a president who doesn't believe in the education system because he's not mentally capacitated. Obviously, he has no education value to himself. So, and this is the guy who's going to shut down all the Department of Education. So, we're going to become dumber than we already were in the first place. So,
I can't do
like
that. I'm at that limit.
Yeah.
I'm done.
All of us here are basically mostly old heads here. Okay, with the exception of Tip. Tipsy's probably the youngest of us. I don't know.
I'm 41 years old.
See, well, he still got a little bit of that Gen X left over there, but it's just disgusting what this is becoming, and I hope that this generation doesn't last for a long time. As far as how people act and react, I hope it's like, because we always see these generations skip, where we have a bad generation and the next generation comes in there. It's kind of like politics. You have the Democrats and the Republicans cleaning each other's crap up. So it's the same thing here. You got generations that flip. So hopefully the next generation that comes from this, they'll be hardworking. They'll understand the value of money. They'll understand the value of other human beings in a social environment. That way, things will be back to normal. But right now,
Hey, Bistrilla, I got a question for you. So how quick would Married with Children be canceled if it was on today?
Oh shit!
oh my, it wouldn't even be on. They wouldn't even got past the first showing.
I mean, I don't know,
no.
man. Like, I don't know if you guys saw South Park the other day, but man, they if South Park can still survive in this world, Married with Children will be just fine, man. I feel like that.
Well,
So,
other thing is that too, Married with Children was a syndicate sitcom, so it was on everybody's TV. It wasn't on a Netflix or something like that. So South Park can continue like that because they find a streaming service. They go beyond a streaming service accepts that. You don't have to watch it if you think it's offensive. Your current generation. So.
Wait, you mean I have a choice in what I can watch? I don't have to just watch it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh
That
my
is
God.
mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. What? Who could have thought of that? It's as simple as just changing the channel? No. What a novel concept.
it's like if somebody insults you on social media, you don't have to go cry. You can just go
on
turn
Facebook
off
and just
social
let all your
media.
feelings go. There you go. Then turn off social media. Yeah. Or cry about it on social media, whatever.
For me, my favorite thing has been the mute button on on Facebook. I think I've muted so many accounts. That's the best invention Mark Zuckerberg ever came up with. Was y'all just mute. I don't have to hear a damn thing you're saying. Well, allow me to be in my echo chamber of consciousness. Like that's where I want to be, right? I wanted to ask you all about this because I saw it yesterday. Because as we know, like the NCAA, it's not an easy fix. It's not a quick fix, and it's more than likely not gonna get fixed, at least not in any time soon. And I feel like that's exactly how it is with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers' first pass yesterday gets intercepted. I cannot think of a better way, for me at least, for Aaron Rodgers to have started his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, getting intercepted here. Obviously, he goes and he says all the stuff that he's going to say, I'm going to throw interceptions, but I'm also going to throw touchdowns. Probably not. I mean, he will, but it's not going to be touchdowns of value. I am here. I'm sad that Hard Knocks is with Buffalo. I want Hard Knocks to be in Pittsburgh following this debacle that Aaron Rodgers is going to be. Augustine, what were your thoughts on this?
I was just laughing and laughing and laughing. Honestly, I hate Rodgers so much. He's got such a punchable face. He's got such a punchable attitude that I think the NFL needs to punch him. And this
He
was
needs to get kicked in the dick, like we said earlier.
Yeah, he needs to. He needs to be kicked on the tip. So.
Now that was a good one, Augustine.
The old
that was a good one. Kicking the tip.
So it's just he's so hateable. It's like
So
I mean, it's funny to say that after Brett Favre, that we can hate a character even more than we can hate Brett Favre. So, Tommy, I mean, South Park needs
that'd be awesome. I definitely would.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers as a Mormon would be the best episode ever.
Just his normality would be that best episode. You don't even have to change him to anything else. Oh man, he's got so many segues in his life you could put on there. So, and you know what? And let me tell you something. I think you said this the other day too, Tip, about training camp. A lot of people take, and I've never seen this until like the last few years, where people take a hiatus and they say, "Oh, they take an interest into these training camps like it's detrimental." Oh my God, this rookie dropped the pass, he's gonna suck. Dude, it's training fucking camp. That's called practice. This is what they do. If quarterbacks go out there and throw 5 interceptions, it's not because they want to throw 5 interceptions. They're trying to get comfortable where they can place the ball with their receivers. This is what I've been trying to explain to everybody all the time. Oh, but he did this and he did this in training camp. I don't care what you do in training camp. Come season week 1. That's when I want to see you do something. I don't care about preseason either, because half the starters aren't going to start. Most of the starters aren't going to start. So we're going to see, the rookies and the free agent pickups and whoever needs to get themselves together. And it doesn't make a difference to me. Training camp is training camp. Throw 50 interceptions. I don't care. As long as you don't do that in week 1 in a season, I'm straight.
I mean, I wanted to throw as many interceptions as possible. Like it's Aaron again. Like it's Aaron Rodgers, and I want to go do ayahuasca with him one day. But throw as much interceptions as you need, my guy. Like you said, it's training camp. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. The same thing with NBA Summer League, right? Like Sonia shared in our group chat the other day, or I think it was last night. The Hornets won the Summer League championship. Congratulations, you're the best. You're the best just right out of college basketball team there is. Like I put no stock in it. I love watching it. Don't get me wrong, but I know that at least all the times I've seen it, whenever you win Summer League, you're gonna have a pretty bad regular season. I've seen that way too many times, especially the San Antonio Spurs. The year that they won the Summer League, they also got the number 1 overall pick in Victor Wembanyama. Like that's what got them to be able to draft Victor Wembanyama, was how bad they were that season. So training camp to me means nothing. It's just hilarious watching Aaron Rodgers because everything surrounding him is going to be so blown out of proportion.
So the Cowboys think the playoffs is preseason as well. That's the thing. Is that training camp for the Cowboys?
Why do you do this all the time?
Next season?
Why do you do this all the time?
Leave
the Cowboys alone, man. We're about your Patriots.
We went the entire show without mentioning them. And then we bring them up with 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left.
That was that guy.
I just want to say,
my mirror on it, so I can
training camp doesn't matter. So the Cowboys think the playoffs are training camp. Good to know.
Well, it's just like preseason
and knowing
games.
Is half the battle.
When they counted for something, well, they didn't count for anything, but everybody was lauding the Lions when they won. They were 4-0 in 2008, I think it was. They were 4-0 in preseason. What happened? They went 0-16. So I mean, it don't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference.
I think the same thing happened with the Cleveland Browns. I think they went 4-0 that season, and they went 0-16. That's wild. I love that. I love anomalies like that. I know earlier this week I said the Cowboys were going to go 17-0. I firmly do not believe the Cowboys are going to go 17-0. I think they're going to get anywhere between 10 to 12 wins, just depending
on
what
division.
They are. But
I'm here to say that they are going to win the division.
I like that. I like that you got faith in them. I've got zero faith.
I don't know why you're looking like that, Augustine, because Philadelphia and Washington, I think, are going to take a step back this year. And Washington's already having trouble.
Philadelphia's age is better than the Cowboys right now. So
I don't know about age is better. We'll find out. We will find out week 1 on Thursday. That's for sure.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going to age like a loaf of bread.
Their defensive
and the
line
Cowboys are aging, and the Cowboys are aging like milk. So there you go. I mean,
they got a pretty good mix of rookies on there too, though. So I'm not happy about. The one thing real quick I want to say is Miles Sanders. Shut up. Talk about Saquon Barkley. You didn't do nothing because he had an offensive line. Dude, you had the same offensive line. You didn't do shit. So shut up.
Hey, I just got to say one thing before. I know it's almost we're going to say goodbye, but here's the thing. I just got 2 words for all Cowboy fans. Brian Schottenheimer.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something worse.
Or like Sonia said, shopping center.
I still can't believe that that's the Dallas Cowboy head coach right now. It's got me so dejected, man. I'm so dejected by this. But you know what? I have the weekend to drink my sorrows away. I'll be watching training camp and doing all that stuff, getting myself hyped up for a 17-0, baby, because that's what we're going to do this year. Dallas Cowboys 17-0, winning the Super Bowl. We're going to win 10 Super Bowls in a row. That's the way that we do it. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of today's show. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We will see you all on Monday. I hate that I love it.